In this video, I'm going to answer the questions you've been asking me about job interviews. Now, over recent weeks and months, you've been sending me lots of questions about how to pass an interview. Questions such as, how many interview questions will I have to answer? How do I build a connection with the hiring manager? And how can I overcome interview nerves? Well, if you watch this tutorial from start to finish, I will answer those and many more frequently asked questions about job interviews to help you be the standout candidate. And just very quickly, if you are new to this channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Learning how to pass a job interview can significantly increase your earning potential. I can teach you how to pass every job interview you ever attend and negotiate a salary. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And please also just give the video a like. It really does motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, let's start working through those questions you've been asking me about job interviews. So the first question is from Paris05, and the question is, how can I deal with nervousness during an interview? Well, interview nerves are common. Now, most candidates understandably have nerves both before and during their interview. You will be nervous because you don't know what to expect, and you want the job so badly that you start to catastrophize and worry that you might fail. But there are 3 things you can do to overcome interview nerves. Let's work through them. So number 1 is to stop thinking of it as an interview. Instead, think of it as a meeting between you and a potential employer, because at the end of the day, that is all it is. It's a meeting to see whether you are suitable for them and they are suitable for you. Now, once you start thinking of it as a meeting, your nerves will come down significantly. And the second thing you can do to overcome interview nerves is to actually watch a video of someone else passing a job interview and giving confident answers. Now, when you're ready, you can click the link at the top of this video and watch me passing a job interview. Make sure you take notes while you watch that video. And the third thing you can do to reduce interview nerves is to sit down in front of a mirror before your interview and practice giving your own answers to the 10 most common interview questions. Now, when you practice giving your answers, it really helps you to build confidence. So the 10 most common interview questions I recommend you practice answering are: number 1, tell me about yourself. Number 2, walk me through your CV or resume. Number 3, why do you want this job? Number 4, what are your strengths? Number 5, what's your biggest weakness? Number 6, why do you want to leave your job? Question number 7, why should we hire you? Question number 8, what can you tell us about our company? Question number 9, why do you want to work for us? And question number 10, where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you practice your answers to those 10 questions, I think you're going to pass your interview. So the second question is from Moody Kakana, and they ask, what should I research about the company I've applied for? So this is a really good question. So you must research the company you are applying to work at before you attend your interview. If you don't do any research, you will not get hired. So I recommend researching the following 3 things before your interview. Number 1, make sure you research the company's website About Us page. Look at their history and their future plans. Number 2, research their products and services. Have a look at what they actually do, sell and offer. You can also read some of the positive reviews people have been leaving online about their company. And then number 3, follow them on social media and read their latest news stories. Now, all of this information will help you answer the interview questions: why do you want to work for us? And what can you tell me about our company? So the next question is from Winnie Foems, and Winnie asks, what are the right questions to ask at the end of an interview without seeming entitled or out of place? So this is another really good question. Now, most people don't ask any questions at all. So when the hiring manager says to them, that's the end of the interview, do you have any questions for us? They respond by saying, no, it's okay. I don't have any questions. You covered everything during the interview. But that's a really big mistake. I recommend asking 3 smart questions that show you care about their company and its future success. So I will now give you 8 great questions, and all you have to do is choose 3 of them to ask at the end of your interview. Question number 1. What would my success look like in the role 12 months from now? That's a really good question. Question number 2, can you tell me more about the team I would be a part of in this role? Question number 3, what's the one thing I could do in this position to help your business succeed? Question number 4, what advice would you give to the successful candidate who wants to excel in the role? Question number 5, what training would I undergo once I started work here? Question number 6, what's the first thing you would need me to concentrate on when I start working here? Question number 7 is, what are the plans for the company over the next 5 to 10 years? And question number 8 is, what's the best thing about working for this company? So there's 8 great questions, and don't forget, all you need to do is choose 3 of them to ask at the end of your interview. So the next question is by Grimm 1997, and they ask, how can I answer the question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now, this is one of those questions that's pretty much guaranteed to come up during your interview. Be very careful how you answer it. So do not say you plan to be working elsewhere in 5 years' time. You need to be saying you want to still be working for their company, either in the same role with more responsibility or having gained advancement to a more senior level. You can also say that you would have undertaken numerous training courses to enhance and diversify your skills, be an expert in your area of specialism, and also be someone who would help train up new members of staff as and when they join their company. So the next question you guys keep asking me on this channel is, how can I stop stuttering in my interview? Now, this is a really good question. People stutter all the time during their interviews. It's understandable because they are nervous. Now, to overcome stuttering or to reduce it to a point that helps you answer the questions confidently, make sure you do the following 2 things. Number 1, right at the very start of your interview, tell the hiring manager you sometimes stutter when you're nervous, and you would appreciate it if they took this into account. Now, just by letting the hiring manager know you might stutter will help to calm your nerves. And the second thing you should do to reduce stuttering in an interview is slow down. This is a really good tip. We speak faster in interviews because we want to get the interview finished as soon as possible. But listen to how I have just slowed down my communication with you. It sounds confident, doesn't it? So, take several deep breaths before answering the questions, and please remember to slow down. Give your brain time to think, and you will stutter less. So the next 2 questions you guys keep asking me on this channel are, how many questions will I have to ask during my interview, and how long will my interview last for? Well, the majority of job interviews last for between 20 and 30 minutes, and there are usually between 7 and 10 interview questions asked. However, the time your own interview will last for is very much dependent on the length of your answers. So the next question is by Juawi Enji, and they want to know, How do you build a connection with an interviewer? This is a really good question. Okay, there are 3 things you can do to build a connection with the interviewer. Here they are. So number 1 for building a connection is to be on time, be polite and respectful, thank them for giving you the opportunity to be interviewed for the position, and also wear a smart outfit. Now, these things tell the interviewer you are serious about the job, which will definitely help you to build a connection. Number 2 for building a connection is to smile during your interview and also be positive and enthusiastic in your answers to the questions. Now, when you smile at someone, they can't help but smile back. And number 3 for building a connection with an interviewer is to send a follow-up thank you email once you get home from your interview. So this again demonstrates respect and good manners. Now, if you want to know what to include in an interview follow-up email, you can click the link at the top of this video at any time. So the next question you guys often ask me on this channel is it okay to tell jokes during my interview? Well, my rule has always been to not tell any jokes unless it feels natural and you have a really good connection with the interviewer. Now, the only joke I would personally tell in an interview is in response to the question, what's your biggest weakness? I might respond by saying chocolate before then moving on and giving a serious and genuine weakness. However, my advice is to not prepare any jokes in advance because they can backfire. Okay, so the next question is by KB, and they want to know, how should I answer situational and behavioral interview questions? Now, that's another great question we need to cover to help you pass your interview. Now, situational and behavioral interview questions assess how you have previously dealt with workplace situations. Now, the most common situational and behavioral questions are, tell me about a time when you worked in a team. Tell me about a time when you delivered excellent customer service. Tell me about a time when you worked under pressure, and tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a coworker. Now, when you answer these difficult interview questions, you must give a specific situation you have been in. Now, the best piece of advice I can give you when answering those situational and behavioral interview questions is to use the STAR technique to structure your answers. So STAR, S-T-A-R, stands for situation, task, action, and result. So you start off your answer and you tell the interviewer the situation you were faced with. You then move on and outline the task that needed doing. You then give in-depth details about the action you took before finishing off your answer and telling the interviewer the results following your action. So make sure you use a STAR technique to structure your responses. Now, if you want to watch me answer difficult behavioral interview questions in a live job interview, you can click the link right now at the top of this video. Now, the next question is by Sam's K, and they ask, how would I answer a behavioral interview question without any experience? That's a really good question. So the way to answer behavioral interview questions when you have no experience is to say, you've never been in that situation before, but you have seen other people do it. So, for example, if the question was, tell me about a time you went above and beyond for a customer, you could say something like this. Although I've never been in that situation before, I have received customer service that went above and beyond. Therefore, I do know what I'd need to do in that situation. So, for example, I spoke to a customer agent on the telephone recently about a product I wanted to order. They asked me questions about the type of product I was interested in, and when I stated I wanted to buy an expensive one, they said I didn't need it and would be wasting my money. So this service went above and beyond because they had my best interests at heart and they weren't solely interested in selling me something costly. So in this next question, Eric Carenzi asks, how do I answer the question, what is your expected salary? Now, the best way to answer this tough interview question is to research the salary range for your job and industry before your interview. Now, you can do this on websites such as Glassdoor.com and Payscale.com. And once you know the salary range, it gives you a figure to work with. Then, in your answer, tell them what the salary range is and choose a figure you are comfortable with. So to help you, here's how I would answer the interview question, what is your expected salary? The salary range for this position and industry is between $38,000 and $48,000. Now, although I believe I am worth $48,000, I respect and appreciate you don't know me, and I have a duty to prove to you my worth. On that basis, I would be satisfied with a salary of $45,000, and I believe you will see a great return on your investment for that amount. Elena Castillo asks the next question, and they say, "Hi Richard, I would like to know, how does the hiring process work?" So this is a really good question. Now, the hiring process works by you and the rest of the candidates being scored against set criteria. The interviewer will have a scoring sheet in front of them. Each criteria is worth 10 marks. Now, all candidates will be assessed the same to make things fair, and they will be asked the same interview questions. Now, the criteria often used to assess you during job interviews includes an assessment of your CV or resume. Does it fit with the requirements of the role and the job description? Whether you have any relevant experience to bring to the position. Your personality, how you present yourself during the interview, which is essentially interview technique. Your communication skills, your levels of motivation, enthusiasm, and commitment to work for their company. Self-awareness and whether you reflect on previous work performance. Flexibility and adaptability, and also team fit. Are you going to be able to fit into their team quickly? Now, they will also take into consideration the questions you ask at the end of your interview. So make sure you ask 3 smart ones. Now, once the interview is over, they will discuss your performance collectively and score you based on those set criteria. And the candidate with the highest scores and who appears to be the best fit for their team will get hired. So there's your most recent questions answered about job interviews. If you have any more questions you want me to answer, please put them in the comment section below the video. Now, the next thing to do, if you want to accelerate your learning even further and make sure you pass your interview at the very first attempt, is click that link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download my full set of 50 brilliant answers to difficult interview questions. It's a fantastic resource, and you can have it in your inbox within 2 minutes from now. Please also make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, by passing job interviews, you can significantly increase your earning potential. Please give the video a like, because that really does motivate me to create more content for you. And don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It's always a pleasure to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your job interview. Have a great day.